the truth is painful.
You can't handle the truth!
Welcome to Todd's Truth. Todd wrestles with the truth. My AEW Week in Review. This review is going to be about AEW Dynamite. This was a show of two halves. The half that was really good and the half that was really bad. This show, right off the bat, to tell you, this show had more talking in it than wrestling. I felt like I was going to fall asleep several times during this show because it was so boring with talky. Oh my God, shut up and wrestle. But I think this is the most talking in a Dynamite match I've seen. It's usually about get in the ring and let's get it done. Not this one. This one had a lot of talking, trying to set up stuff for Double or Nothing, the pay-per-view coming up at the end of the month. And so I think that's what they were trying to build stuff up, but what they really did to me is bored me to death on, at least half this episode. But let's get into the actual matches that went on, and we'll talk about the rest later. First match of the night, Christian Cage versus Matt Sydal. What a great match this was. Two awesome veterans and also very good friends. So they know each other very well. And that was the whole thing of this match, was that they know each other very well. There were more reversals and just getting out of the way of the other guy's moves. It was incredible. They know each other so well that they even knew what the guy was going to... It could have looked like anything, but they knew exactly what was coming, each one of them, and they got out of the way or reversed what the other guy was doing. This was a great match. Matt Sydal, I think, just overdid it a little bit and screwed up with the trying to do too many high-flying moves. And Christian Cage caught him with a good one when he got his knees up when he did a moonsault. That hurt. And then what was the coolest thing, because I think this was homage to Edge, was he gave Matt Sydal the spear. So that's his brother's move. I cheered for that. I was like, yes! Because it made me think, I'm like, oh, I wish Edge was here with him. And then after that, he got Matt Sydal with what I still call the unprettier, but because that's what the move was called. But now he's calling it kill switch, I believe is what he's calling it now. So I still say the unprettier because that's how long I've known Christian to use that move, and that's what it's always been called. But for now, I don't know if that has to do why he changed the name of it, but now it's called the kill switch. And he got that on Matt Sydal and got the pin. A great match. This would be a great match to watch, to see two veterans, just go at it, because it was good. So the next match that happened on the night... Oh, and there's a good picture of Christian when he got into the ring. And so far, outwork everybody he has, because he's now undefeated. So, hey, keep it up. I love Christian. I would love to see him wearing the AEW World Heavyweight title sometime, or the TNT title. I don't care which, or both. I just really love Christian. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. So this was the next match on the night. The Acclaimed against the Brutalizers, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Because all those two do when they get in the ring is they just beat the crap out of people. And I don't think it was very wise of the Acclaimed to come down to the ring. I'm sorry, but doing that lame rap. But he rapped some stuff about Moxley's wife. Yeah, that was probably not a wise thing, because the Acclaimed barely set foot in the ring, and they got the crap beat out of them. You're not really going to stop Moxley and Kingston. They just run over people and they beat you down. And this was a good match, but it's like, no, the claim was not coming out of this with a win, that's for sure. But what they did was they screwed up because they tried to cheat. And really, you're going to try to cheat against these two guys. These two guys they know everything. They know all the ways to beat you. And so at one point, I think it was Max Caster, he got their boom box that they like to carry to the ring and use as a weapon. So he threw it in and trying to get it to Bowens, but no, Jon Moxley caught it and bashed him in the skull. And then I've never seen this move. This was a new move too. So it was Eddie Kingston grabbed Bowens like in a wheelbarrow kind of look move, kind of around the waist, picked him up. Moxley ran over, and they did this wheelbarrow Death Rider paradigm shift. Sorry, I keep calling it Death Rider because that's what they call it in New Japan. And here they calls it the paradigm shift. So it was like Kingston, like I said, Kingston picks him up in like a wheelbarrow, got him locked around the waist, hoisted him up. Jon Moxley ran over, grabbed him in the paradigm shift, and they did it from an elevated position like that. So yeah, that was a cool move to see because, again, that was something new. Haven't seen him do it before. Usually it's the paradigm shift for Moxley, or he locks in his new chokehold submission. But yeah, that was a cool move to see. But yeah, the claim was not coming out of this with a win. And Moxley and Eddie Kingston got the win. This should have been a warning for the night. Don't mouth off. Don't brag how great you are if you can't back it up. And I love nothing more than to see guys who brag about stuff and BS get the crap kicked out of them. So like I'm saying, remember this. This should have been a warning for the rest of the night. So the next thing on the night was more talking. Tony Schiavone did an interview with All Ego Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky about the match coming up with Sting and Darby Allin at Double or Nothing, which was set up in this. They came out, they started brawling, so they set up a match for Double or Nothing. More talky. The next thing was that MJF and the Pinnacle were eating at a restaurant. I don't know. I kind of lulled off into boredom at this point. Something about how great the Pinnacle is, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, don't care. Talky makes me bored. So the next thing the next match of the night was this. How do I describe this nicely? HIKARU Shida got the win. There you go. That's the nicest thing I can say about this. The rest of this match was crap. You had Rebel, not Reba. I don't care. The little crony of Britt Baker wrestling Shida, and they were trying to cheat like crazy. They did a couple of cheat things, and this also goes back to what I've said before. I think on my next thing, I'm going to start a counter for how many times matches are screwed by referees, because in AEW, referees are blind, deaf, and stupid. Yeah, all kinds of crap happens. Why do they even have referees in the ring if they're going to basically treat the referee like a moron? It's really getting ridiculous. I think I might, for my next weekend review, start a counter for how many times the referee does this kind of crap. But yeah, because anything happens, the referee's all, oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, and goes running away to see what this is. Oh no, it's a distraction on the side. Oh no, it's this. But yet they're deaf, they're blind, and they have no peripheral vision. So if you hear something, if I'm standing a foot or two away with my back turned, and I hear Rebel crack HIKARU Shida in the back with those aluminum crutches, I'm sorry, that makes a loud noise. The referee did not even flinch, did not turn around and go, oh, what was that loud noise? Come on, you guys. This writing sucks. You guys are making your referees look like the biggest morons on the planet. So then that happened. Hikaru Shida locked in her submission move on Rebel. Britt Baker just jumped in the ring and started attacking her, because of course she did. And this was stupid too, because you could see that Britt Baker is such a crappy wrestler that she couldn't even do a beatdown right. I mean, she did this lame move where she punched Hikaru Shida, put the belt on the ground, and was going to try to do a curb stomp. But you could see that Hikaru Shida was literally holding her pose and looking over at Britt Baker to see where the hell she was to do this move. That's how bad it was. So yeah, this sucked. And if they give Britt Baker that women's title off of Hikaru Shida, who's a really good wrestler, I will rip this women's division to pieces for this crap. And their shit writing. So the next thing was that the Inner Circle, 4 of the 5 members, came out to give their answer to MJF, and they said, hell yeah. So yeah, they're going to do another Stadium Stampede, which was awesome last year. So if the Inner Circle loses, which they're not going to, they have to break up forever. Never be a team again, or a group. So I can't wait to see this, because last year's Stadium Stampede, if you guys haven't seen it, you've got to watch it. It was so awesome. It was so much fun, so entertaining. And I'm just looking forward to this again. But this time, instead of the Elite versus the Inner Circle, it's the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. So this is going to be, and I hope it's going to be awesome like the last one was, because it was so much fun. So yeah, and then the next thing that was on the night was another interview. Tony Schiavone with Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, yes, I'm great. I know I'm great. Blah, blah, blah. More talkie. Ugh. Boredom. I mean, when I get bored, I fall asleep. And I was damn close to falling asleep during this episode with all this talking and little action. So, but the next match on the night was this, which was Red Velvet, who I don't think, is at championship material yet. She's going that way, but to get in the ring with SERENA DEEB, yeah, no. And it was funny that during times of this match, the face, the good person, Red Velvet, was acting pretty heelish during some stuff in this. Like, there was one point where she was choking SERENA in the corner with her boot while doing her little, I don't know, mixing dance, whatever she calls that thing, while the referee was yelling at her to get the foot off her throat. Not very nice, I'm like, wait, that's more like a heel than a baby face. But it came down to that SERENA DEEB is just a better wrestler, more experienced wrestler than Red Velvet. And once Red Velvet made a mistake, she was trying to do some high fly moves. Like, she hit SERENA DEEB at one point with I think it was a moonsault onto the outside, which that's a very dangerous move. If you or the person out there is not in perfect position, you could crash down on the concrete floor. And outside the ring, there's only a pad about that thick. If you've ever seen those pads they used to have in gym classes that they would put on like the basketball floor to do different things, that's what's on the outside. So if you fall from 6-8 feet or more up onto that mat, it's not very much protection. It's going to hurt. So I was very surprised that she was doing these moves, because I was like, dang, okay. But yeah, SERENA DEEB got the win on the night. I think her finishing move, she calls it the Serenity Lock, I think is what it was. Because I was watching and go, ooh, that's a cool move. And the announcers were saying, and I think one of them did say, maybe it was Shivani or JR, but I think they called it the Serenity Lock. So yeah, good match. Yeah, SERENA DEEB is good. She's a good wrestler. And that's why she's the NWA Women's World Champion and still champion. So the next match Oh, there she is at after winning the match with the NWA Women's World Title. Yeah, so this is another one of the parts of the night that were crap. This Anthony OGOGO thing is stupid. So you have this guy they're promoting like he's the second coming of what? I don't know. Anthony OGOGO was a bronze medalist in the Olympics. So that just means a bronze medal. You were the second loser. You weren't a gold medalist. You were a bronze medalist. So I don't know why he didn't go boxing pro, but maybe he wasn't good enough to. But he's not even a fully trained wrestler yet. But they're putting him in the ring to be a boxer against a wrestler, which makes no sense. Like I said in the AEW thing about this, I was like, this is a joke. If you want to have a boxing match in a wrestling ring, go get Mike Tyson to come back out and knock this fool out. But all he does is he walks in the ring, he doesn't wrestle, he just starts punching the wrestler. If this is supposed to be a boxing match, then don't wrestle. Be a boxing match. But this is supposed to be a wrestling match, and he can't wrestle, but he just punches people. So let's go get a real boxer, a pro, which he isn't, and come out here and kick his ass. That's what I think. I think this is crap, and I think that him just punching people, bare knuckle punching like a boxer, is stupid. This makes no sense. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. It's just stupid. So after this backstage interview with Christopher Daniels and SCU, it's not SCU anymore. So Frankie Kazarian came in. They weren't happy. Christopher Daniels said he's thinking about retiring, which, oh God, I hope he doesn't, because I love Christopher Daniels. He's a veteran, great wrestler. I've been watching him for years. So he hugged Frankie Kazarian, but he said something in his ear, which, I don't know what it was, but he did say something in his ear because you could see him. And then he left, and then Frankie Kazarian said, if Christopher Daniels wants to retire, that's his choice. He's a big boy. He can make his own decisions. But as far as Frankie Kazarian's concerned, he's going to take revenge on the Young Bucks for that BS last week where they cheated like crazy, another stupid referee thing, to win the match. So I'm like, good, Frankie, go beat them up. Their characters right now are douches and, sure, why not? But, and then came your new TNT champion, Miro, which I love. I love seeing Miro being the monster that he should have been in that crap company, WWE. Now, AEW is doing it right, and he is going to destroy anybody who gets in his way. And he already said it, and he already did Darby Allin. He basically, put that boy in a coffin. So he was talking about how he's going to be, defending his belt every week like it should be because it's a television title. And anybody that wants to get in the ring with him, he's going to destroy. And then the coolest thing, again, comes next was the Murder Hawk. Lance Archer walks out onto the stage and he's like, all right, let's go. And Jake the Snake Roberts was holding back Lance Archer because Jake the Snake is funny because Jake the Snake is like, no, we don't fight for free. Pay us. Sign a contract and pay us. We don't fight for free. So they're going to fight at Double or Nothing. So this is going to be awesome. Two big monsters going at it for the TNT title. This is going to be an awesome match. And this match alone, I will buy the pay-per-view to watch. To watch Miro and the Murder Hawk go at it. Because, oh my God, these two big dudes are going to just destroy each other. As you can tell by the big smile on my face, I am very happy to see this match. Oh boy. So then this happens next. Okay, this was also part of this was good and bad at the same time, and then got really good at the end. So, or after the match was over, I should say. Yeah, so it was typical. You know, the Young Bucks, the new douchebags. You know, the new heels taking on the new young team of Varsity Blondes. But again, this was another one that makes me want to put up that referee counter, because this referee was so stupid. I think he has glasses and a cane, because he saw nothing that was going on. And so this match was really good. These matches could be really good without all the stupidity that they're doing in them. So at one point, Nick Jackson grabs that stupid cold spray again, whatever that stuff is supposed to be. It's just probably just an air can. And sprays Brian Pillman Jr. in the eyes. And then he threw the can to Matt. And then Matt runs over and sprays the girl who's with the Varsity Blondes now in the face with it. I'm sorry, you just assaulted a girl? Yeah, okay. And then he runs over and sprays Griff Garrison in the face with it. So again, that's an aerosol can. So again, the referee is standing approximately 2 feet away, being distracted by Nick Jackson, and he literally doesn't hear all of this spraying noise going on inside the ring, less than 2 feet behind him. I'm sorry, if I'm standing somewhere doing something, even talking, and I hear an aerosol can right behind me, what's that? No, because they're deaf. You know, they don't hear anything that happens less than 2 feet away from them. So yeah, it's getting ridiculous with this stuff of, they're just making these referees look like, you know, they're the stupidest things on the planet. Like I said, blind, deaf, and dumb is what they're doing. And it's just getting ridiculous. Come on. So with this, I think Matt Jackson locks in the figure four, no, the cloverleaf on Pillman Jr. Nick Jackson jumps in the ring and like hits him with a split face buster, it looked like, while he was still in the cloverleaf. And then rolls out of the ring really quickly, and he had to, finally, he had to submit because he's been locking this thing for a long time. Just got his face slammed into the ring. So yeah, they get the win. And then as they're celebrating, like I said, all the people who were like talking trash in this thing pretty much got their butts kicked around somehow. So while they're celebrating, how great they are, after all the cheating and doing all this stuff, who comes out and attacks them? Moxley and Kingston. So that was awesome. And they just beat the crap out of the Bucks. And then, to add insult to injury, which I laughed out loud because it was freaking hilarious the way they did it, Kingston steals their shoes. Supposedly they're $5,000 shoes or whatever they are, Dior, Nike or something like that, they said. So Kingston steals their shoes, and then they run away, leaving the Young Bucks in the ring without any shoes on. And Kingston here, you can see, he's got them all, and he's leaving the arena. So that was AEW Dynamite. And like I said, most of this show, all of the talking, way too much talking, was to set up everything, or to continue setting up everything for Double or Nothing coming up at the end of the month. But, again, too much talking. I was bored and going to sleep. The matches were almost all good with just a few bad spots going on. But yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to have to say this was a 3 out of 5. Middle of the road show for Dynamite. So yeah, if you've got the time, watch it. Tell me what you think of it. But yeah, I was not that impressed with it. It's definitely wasn't one of the better shows. And, you know, like some of the matches with Moxley and Kingston being on that and the Young Bucks, you know, those were good. But yeah, this referee stuff is really beginning to piss me off because it's really bad. I mean, if you want to be WWE, then just say you're going to be WWE and do the same crap they do, because that's how bad this is getting. So yeah, 3 out of 5. Nothing else I can say. But if you enjoyed this video review of AEW Dynamite and part of my AEW Weekend Review, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.